So today we will be discussing about cross filter function in DAX. Basically, we will be talking about bidirectional cross filtering. But before we get started, there are few things that I want to make absolutely clear. Firstly, this is a very serious topic for interview. Secondly, you need to pay a little more attention to understand this properly. And lastly, you need to make sure that you practice this and not just watch this video. Then only you will be able to get hold of this topic properly. So let us get started. When should we exactly use bidirectional cross filtering? What is the scenario? What is exactly going to happen that we have to make use of this particular function? So let us try to understand this with a very practical example. On the screen, you can see this particular data model. This has got sales table, which is a fact table surrounded by these dimension tables. Out of all the tables for this particular example, we will focus only on the three tables: customer table, which is a dimension table; sales table, which is a fact table; and product table, which is again a dimension table. Before we move forward, understand that customer table is connected to sales table on the basis of customer ID column, and there is one-to-many relationship. Also, product ID is connected to sales table on the basis of product ID column. Again, there is one-to-many relationship. So let me explain you the requirement. In the column 1, we are going to have different categories, and in the column 2, we want distinct count of states for which the transaction has happened. Where is the state? State is coming from this table, customer state, and we only need the distinct state for which the transaction has happened in the sales table. If the transaction has not happened, we don't need it. So let's say if there are 10 states and let's say transaction has happened for only 5 of them, then we need only 5 for the respective category. That is a requirement. If you are still not clear, I will show you in the table. So this is the first table, product table, and we can see these are the categories. Okay. Second table that we were talking about is customer table, and we can see customer state here. Third table is the sales table, which has got all the transaction, and these tables are connected as I told you earlier. You may think that okay, this is a very simple requirement. All I need to do is take the category in the column 1, and for the column 2 I need distinct count. So I will create a new measure. Let us call this new measure as distinct state, and then we make use of distinct count function. Column name is state, which is coming from customer table. So customer table, customer state column, and we can see the output is showing us 10 10 10, okay, which is wrong, and I will tell you how. So if you have a look at the data model carefully, you will understand that there is no direct relationship between product and customer. Product is connected to sales and sales is connected to customer. So we can see that filter propagation is moving from product table to the sales table like this, okay, but there is no filter propagation moving from sales to customer. See, it is moving from customer to sales, but from sales to customer there is no filter propagation. That is why we need bidirectional cross filtering, and that is why currently we are getting wrong results. So I can fix it using a very simple trick. I'll just right click this relationship, click on properties. Let us make this relationship both, that is bidirectional. I will click on save, and then you will see the numbers changing. Earlier it was 10 10 10, now it is 9 9 10. That is giving me the correct value. Now you may think that you have solved the problem so easily, but trust me, this is a very problematic solution, because now what you have done is you have made changes to the data model, and this will give you ambiguous results. This may affect the performance. There is a function in DAX which is called as cross filter function. So we will not make any changes to this data model. We will use that function, and only for that particular calculation we will get the proper result as well. I will show you how exactly we are going to do that. So again, I will go to this particular new table. Let us again take the category from the product table. So let me create a new measure. Let us call this new measure as cross filter measure. Then we will make use of calculate function. We already know the expression is distinct count, so that remains same just like earlier. So distinct count of states, which is coming from customer table. So I will say customer states. Next is filter one. Now for filter one, we will make use of cross filter function. Okay. Now we need to provide the value for left column and then right column name. So why do we need cross filter? Because there is no filter propagation from sales to customer. Okay. So this is a many side. So the first argument should always have the value coming from the many side. So many side has sales table and one side has customer table. So firstly, we will take customer ID coming from sales table and then we will take customer ID from the customer table. So let us do that. So I will take the first argument left column name as customer ID, but that is coming from sales table. For the right column name, I will take again the customer ID, but this time it should be coming from the customer table. The next argument is cross filter type. We know we are doing the bidirectional. Bi means both. So we will take both here and then we will close the bracket. I think this is done. Now let us see the output whether we get correct values or not. I will select it and see 9, 9, 10. That means we are getting the correct output using this cross filter function. So this is the scenario wherein we wanted to have the cross filter direction. We have not made any changes to this data model and still we are able to resolve the issue and perform the calculation only for that particular case using the cross filter function. Make sure that you practice this. I will share the data set in the description of the video. I again repeat, if you are not practicing, it's a waste of time. You just wasted 10 minutes of your life. Okay. Make sure that you practice. Thank you. Bye.